Okay, in this tutorial, we're going to go over setting up a magazine within MagTitan. So here we are at the dashboard. And the first thing that's helpful is to understand the overview of how MagTitan is structured. So here we have the MagTitan flow. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to actually set up a magazine. And when I say set up a magazine, what that means is tell MagTitan the title of the magazine and give it all of the pertinent information. Once that is done, you're going to move into setting up an individual issue, and then underneath that individual issue, you'll create articles and then pages. And that's the general structure. So you have to set up everything first, and then you're going to go through the builder and you're going to create the actual content for a particular issue. So the steps to launching a magazine start with adding that magazine, and you can just click this link here, or you could go into the Magazine Center. I'll click the link here, and now it brings us into the 6-step process to adding a magazine into the system. So I'm going to start here by adding the magazine name, and we're going to do here an example of a magazine called Crushing It. Now keep in mind, once you add this magazine, the name cannot be changed. If you're not happy with what you did, you're going to have to delete it and start a new magazine. And once you have the name set up, you can proceed to the second step, which is the summary. However, I want to also note that you have this button here, Add Magazine and Create a New Issue. So you're not going to be able to publish until you go through all 6 steps here and get the magazine approved. However, if you did want to go into creating a new issue and using the builder, you could bypass this and start into that process. But for this example, we're just going to continue on to step 2, which is moving into the summary. And you can see once you've done a particular step correctly, you will get a check mark here. And now we're into the summary, which you'll notice these tooltips on the side where you can see where a particular item is going to be used, and that will be helpful to understanding why we're asking you for certain things. So what I'm going to do here is just copy some copy that I have on a separate page here, and I'll copy it and paste it in. It's very easy. If you want to kind of do formatting and stuff like that, you can do it. It's very simple. And you can change this at any time. You'll notice also as you go through that if you want to save particular information, you could do it just so if something crashes, then you won't lose it. And now the subdomain name is the name that your URL is going to be. So I like just using the magazine name, so I'm just going to do Crushing. Did I type that right? Crushing It, and then we'll click Save and go on to the next step. Here we have 2 options for the magazine cover. The automatic cover that will happen actually once you create your actual cover, it will pull the cover into here, and you could use that. Well, before we actually create a magazine, we don't have the cover design, so the option here is to create a custom cover. So notice the acceptable size, so you'll have to resize it because we use it in some very specific places. So I'm just going to click here, and then I'm going to drag over my image for the cover, and it'll go through a process of loading. And there we have it. So it's loaded and we're good. I'm going to save my progress, and I'm going to go to the next step. Here, the next step is all about setting the price for advertising when advertisers are coming in through the Ad Einstein network. You can start by setting your verified view price, and this is how much, whenever an ad is read, that you are going to charge your advertisers, or the advertisers that we're going to bring to you, how much they'll get charged. And you can actually set it for whatever you want. If you are not sure, I would recommend that you start with the $1 and you test that price and then see if your market will bear more or less, and you can adjust it. Next, to help us target your audience, you're going to go through and select the different categories that will be appropriate. So I'm just going to here select business, and then the media kit URL is optional, but if you want your people to be able to have information from your media kit, I'm going to put in that URL here. So there we have that. and we can save, and then we'll move on to the next step. Here you have the option of customizing the logo that if a page is loading, the viewer logo is what will show. So here you have the MagTitan logo. That's there by default. You can put in whatever logo you want just by deleting this and changing that. Next is Google Analytics, and by putting in your email address or multiple staff members' email addresses here, you'll be able to get full access to Google Analytics for every single page of your magazine. So highly recommend you doing this as well. So that's that step. We'll save it. And now you can see that all we have to do is go on to the approval step. And once you have all the items checked, you know you're good and you can send for approval. And you'll be able to see here the status. The magazine was added and it's in review. And once it's approved, then this status will change, and you'll see that here right within the magazine center. And you can actually go in and start adding issues to your publication.